It's Divas That Care Radio. Stories, strategies, and ideas to inspire positive change. Welcome to Divas That Care, a network of women committed to making our world a better place for everyone. This is a global movement for women, by women, engaged in a collaborative effort to create a better world for future generations. To find out more about the movement, visit divasthatcare.com after the show. Right now, though, stay tuned for another jolt of inspiration.
Hello to all. Welcome to Divas That Care Network. I am Joyce Benning, and I am your host for this robust lifestyle show. Check out our website, divasthatcare.com, and see all the amazing hosts and their shows of women they are interviewing around the world. I am so super excited today to have a new diva, Shanda Maddox, with me, and she is going to speak about horses, which truly is my passion. Shanda Maddox, could you please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Hi, I'm Shanda. I serve as the equine program director and the head equestrian team coach for Colby Community College. CCC is a small 2-year school in northwest Kansas, located in Colby, Kansas. Horses have been a part of my life forever. I grew up showing and barrel racing, competing in horse judging contests as a youth and through college, and now have an opportunity to share my love for the horse industry with my students.
Oh, Shanda, how very exciting. Oh, I just love that. Could you explain to our guests a little bit more about being an equine instructor and equestrian coach, some of the activities that you were involved in through the college with this?
Sure. Yeah, let's talk first then about the degree program.
Okay.
So within the equine program, we actually have 2 degree options. One is an Associate of Science in Equine Science, and that's set up for students to complete a lot of their general education courses and then some equine-specific coursework. But their intention with that degree is to transfer to university and complete a bachelor's degree and beyond. And then we also have an Associate of Applied Science in Horse Production and Management. And with that degree program, it is considered, probably the more popular term right now is a technical degree. So within that degree program, students spend 2 years of pretty intense hands-on coursework and then are set up to enter the workforce. We do have some students who choose to do this degree and the transfer degree together because they see the value of the hands-on experience they get and transfer with both of those degrees onto university. And I can share a little bit about the curriculum too and the opportunities and the things that our students learn within the program.
Oh, that would be fantastic for our listeners to hear. I would love that.
Okay. Very good. Here at Colby Community College, we have a 60-acre college farm, which is kind of a rarity for a 2-year school and even for many universities. The college farm houses our equine unit, beef unit, and then also an alternative energy program. And within the equine unit, during the school year, we typically have about 50 head of horses. About 30 of them are owned by the college, and we bring in about 20 horses on a care lease throughout the school year to use for practices and horsemanship classes for the equestrian team. And the herd that the college owns, it ranges from, finished show horses that we're using in competitions to brood mares and babies. We stand a stallion for our personal use. And then the babies that are born at the farm also are halter broke and started under saddle in classes and eventually either sold or they come into our program to be used within our horsemanship classes. The students get experience really in everything that happens in the daily management of a horse farm. So they're helping with feeding, they're learning treatments and emergency care, they're learning foaling, breeding, artificial insemination, the business side of running an operation like this. And then there's also opportunities for other certifications. All of our students within their first semester of their freshman year also complete an OSHA certification. And then their final semester within our program complete a certification as a certified riding instructor through CHA, which is an international organization, the Certified Horsemanship Association. So they get all kinds of really invaluable hands-on experience within their coursework. And I tell students too, as they are here for a visit, we have planned curriculum, but there's so much that happens on a daily basis when we're dealing with livestock that is not planned in our curriculum, that presents really great learning opportunities. If we have an injury or we have a colic or a complication foaling, there's so much that goes on that really makes that hands-on experience that much more rich.
Oh, wow. That is incredible, everything that they are learning at the college. Oh, goodness. And like you said, so many experiences that will just come on. I mean, when you deal with livestock, it's every day is a new day. It can become a new challenge.
Definitely.
Oh, that is incredible. That is amazing and at that big of an acreage, 60 acres on a community college like that. Wow, that is fantastic. Oh, how exciting. Now, how about the part of being an equestrian coach? You've highlighted on the classes. Now, can you share with us about the coaching part of it?
Absolutely. So I'm the head coach of our college equestrian team, and we have two assistant coaches, one that primarily focuses on Western and the other primarily focusing on hunt seat. And I teach practices in both disciplines. So we are a member school of the Intercollegiate Horse Show Association, known as the IHSA, and that's a national college riding association. We're a member school of Zone 8 Region 5, so that's schools in Kansas, Nebraska, Colorado, and Wyoming. When I think about collegiate riding within the IHSA and compare it to traditional horse showing, so like what I grew up doing and what most of us know of showing with our personal horses, in my mind there's really two big differences. And the first is when we go to a competition, the hosting school provides all of the horses. So it's known as a catch-ride system. We have a horse list that shares the description of that horse, and we're able to watch the horses warm up. And the warm-up rider is someone who is not competing in the horse show. Like we often have alumni come back and help warm up horses. So, part of this catch-ride system is then that the students literally are like drawing a horse's name out of a bucket, and that's who they're going to go in and compete in the ring on this particular animal. So it's a really good test of horsemanship ability, and that's what we're preparing them for in practices to like really fine-tune the aids that they're using to communicate to their horse and to be adaptable to the different like the movement of the horse or the skill level of the horse, the training of the horse, to really be adaptable and be able to read that horse and communicate effectively to them to work through a pattern or a jump course or whatever class it is that they may be in for that particular horse show. Then the other big difference that I always try to point out is that riders are placed according to their skill level. So we have riders who have competed really extensively as a youth, and some even competing at the national or the world level, and they end up in the higher divisions within the IHSA. We have some riders come to the team who've never even sat on the back of a horse before, and they compete in a beginner walk-trot division. Then between those two extremes, there's several divisions. And I put a lot of emphasis on the fact that beginner rider who comes to us with very little experience, their points are just as valuable to our team is that rider who has won a world championship. That each one of them, we count on their individual points to count towards our team total and to help us win horse shows. So as we look at those two big differences from traditional horse showing, that kind of lays the groundwork of what the collegiate riding within the IHSA is like.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. I love that because, I mean, it's not something where it's all just experienced riders that are coming to you into these classes and to the equestrian team. It's all levels, and you welcome them all.
Mm-hmm.
And your outlook on it is what makes it such a successful coaching. I can just hear that in your voice because you are as excited about the beginner rider as you are the one that has won on maybe, say, a national level. And that generates right into the kids that are coming in, the young adults, and they're not feeling like just because I don't know what they know, I still have a place on this team too. Oh, I absolutely love that, Shanda. That is incredible.
And, you know, there's been times that beginner rider's placing has won the horse show for us. Like it is, they are just as valuable in what our total show points look like. It's a really cool game. And, you know, competing at a collegiate level like this too presents a lot of opportunity for young people who maybe haven't had the opportunity, maybe didn't grow up on a farm or have the means to be able to horse show, that they get the opportunity to learn this sport and learn it well and have good instruction from their coaches and learn on really talented horses in a setting like this. And they get, you know, travel opportunity and scholarship funds, and it's a really cool opportunity.
Boy, that is almost an unbelievable opportunity, because a lot of times when you reach that college age, you need the experience in order to excel in something like this, where here they have the opportunity to start at the beginning and excel up. Oh, I absolutely love that. That is incredible. And I love this. It was called Catch Ride, where they ride That is incredible.
Reference. It's a catch ride. And you know, within that, the horses are placed in each of those divisions according to the horse's skill level too. So, like, let's go back to that beginner division. You know, the ones that are very new to riding and they're only competing walk trot. The horses that are in that division, you know, they're really solid-minded horses. That they're tolerant and they're quiet and are really a perfect fit for beginner riders. And then as we continue to go up in those divisions, the horses are going to continue to be more advanced in their skill level and have more buttons is kind of the term that we use, that they can, you know, provide like flying lead changes and sliding stops and more maneuvers that will meet the skills of those riders.
Yes. Well, it sounds like in the beginners, these horses are help building the confidence too in that rider.
Yes.
To build their confidence on up to the next level. Oh, and that is so awesome, because a lot of times it's usually you bring the horse to the horse show and that's the one you show on all the time. We're here the team is showing on other horses. Oh, I just love that. That is an incredible way to do that. Was this something that has been created through Colby Community College, or is it something that is used around in a lot of different schools, this kind of catch ride?
Yeah, you know, the IHSA was developed several decades ago in I believe it was in New York. It's on the East Coast, and now is in hundreds of member schools all across the United States. So it's not something that Colby developed, but I think it's something special to Colby that we have the opportunity to offer this. We are the only school in the state of Kansas that competes both disciplines full time with our equestrian team. So we're kind of a little special scenario, I guess, of this little school in Northwest Kansas that can provide this opportunity.
Oh, that is totally incredible, being the only college in the state of Kansas that offers this. Wow.
Yes.
Oh, what a privilege to be able to offer this through what you're teaching there. Oh, I just love that. That is just awesome, Shanda. Wow. Well, was there an aha moment in your life that brought you into what you are doing today?
It was actually kind of an interesting journey. I'd mentioned in the beginning that horses were always a part of my life. My dad grew up on a fairly large ranch in Nebraska, and growing up we had a cattle operation and had horses for that, and my sister and I grew up showing and barrel racing, and I always loved my experiences growing up, and growing up with horses has definitely impacted my career. But as I went into college, I grew up just outside of Colby and attended CCC and rode on the equestrian team, and then had the opportunity to become scholarshiped and ride for K-State's varsity equestrian team. I rode as a reiner and a horsemanship rider for K-State when they were competing in both the IHSA and the NCAA. And, those experiences really made a significant impact in my college education. I learned a lot in the classroom, but so much of what has impacted my life long term happened in all the extracurricular that I was a part of. And so while I was in college, I didn't have coaching as a goal necessarily. Honestly, I thought the career I would pursue was to be a 4-H agent. I was active in the 4-H program, and my mom and dad were both club and project leaders, and I really loved what that program, the values I learned from that program and the life skills that it teaches young people. So going through college, that was my goal. And I ended up with a variety of degrees, kind of trying to kind of reach all the facets of what it could look like to be a 4-H agent. So I have a degree in animal science, nonprofit leadership, and then also a social work degree. And as I was in college, my dad was actually diagnosed with cancer and passed away as I started my junior year at K-State. And I went ahead and continued my education and had a really positive experience at K-State. But as I graduated, K-State was still pretty uncertain of what my life plan was going to be like, and decided that I would find a lot of value in an international experience. And so through the Department of Leadership on the K-State campus, they were developing this new program called Service Learning. And I signed up for this program and was kind of one of the first students to help establish what this program was going to be, and ended up teaching in Botswana, Africa for a few months after I graduated K-State. And I will tell you that experience is one that really shaped my worldview and forever impacted my life in one of the most positive ways that I can imagine. And I encourage my students, if they ever have an opportunity to see something outside of the world that they know, to take every advantage of it, that it can be life-changing for them. So this is turning into a really long story, but I'll get to how I got to teaching here in just a moment.
No, I love
returned home I returned home from Africa, and I mentioned that my dad had passed away while I was at K-State, and my mom was, had found a way to manage our cattle herd, but it still seemed like there was so much kind of up in the air. So I decided I was going to take a couple months when I returned home from Africa and kind of help get things a little more established and find my footing on what the rest of, my next step was going to be, and help my mom. And I was home for only, it was probably 5 days. It was less than a week. And I got a call from the woman who was the equine program director here at the college, asking if while I was home I would be interested in helping coach and kind of teach a couple classes. And initially I was a bit hesitant because I didn't think I would stay in my hometown. And so I kind of agreed with some boundaries that I was job searching, and as the opportunity came up that I wanted to pursue, I would be moving on to that next step. So that fall, started coaching, and really liked that experience. And I had wonderful coaches and trainers during my life, and was able to share some of that knowledge and some of the values that I'd learned, and really grew to love it. But I still didn't think that I was going to stay in Colby. But through some other turn of events with other job opportunities that I was pursuing, I ended up taking on the head position here, and then was offered the equine program director position as well. And, I'm a believer, and I think this is one of those times that God intervened, and he did. He put me on the path that I think my life was really supposed to be, even though for the longest time it's like, I'm not going back to my hometown. I have other things that I think I want to pursue, but this has been probably one of the most fitting careers I could ever end up in, even though that is not what my intention from the beginning was. So I've now been teaching and coaching for 12 years. So and have some longevity here at the college now too, and I love the role that I serve, and the young people that I get to guide and mentor, and it's been a really wonderful fit.
Oh, Shanda. Oh, what a beautiful, beautiful story. Oh, my goodness, what a journey you've been on, going from Colby to Africa. Oh, I can only imagine. That would have been a real experience. And then coming back to the ranch, and, oh, goodness. Oh, yes, you had the faith, and you listened, and you followed what you were hearing. And look where it has you now. It sounds like you are loving every minute of it. Oh,
I do.
You can definitely.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No,
I was going to say, and now my husband and I are on my family's operation, and we have 2 young children that are learning cattle production in Northwest Kansas, and are getting to, experience this wonderful life of a rural upbringing. So, as I reflect back on all of that, I am exactly where I need to be, and was guided there very appropriately, I think.
Oh, it sounds like it. I can feel it in your voice that you're loving what you're doing. Yes, I'm sure there's lots of challenges, lots of stress factors, but you are loving what you are doing, and where you are where you need to be. Because,
it's true.
Wow. Oh, that is just incredible. Well, you are such a busy woman. What is your secret to balancing all of this and still giving back like you do to others? I am just sitting here in amazement talking to you, like, oh my word.
Well, that's something that I'll admit I struggle with. And I'm a reader. I really like to read, and I listen to a lot of podcasts, and becoming a mom definitely changed what my role looked like. I could no longer be on campus until midnight or 1 a.m. just to make sure everything was going and I was prepared for the next day. I have a family that I want to and need to be active in the daily and engaged in we're doing within our operation. And I am involved in a number of volunteer opportunities through our church and 4-H and Kansas Farm Bureau. That I joke when I hear, or I kind of chuckle, I guess, when I hear this kind of idealistic balance, because to be honest, it doesn't exist in my life. And what I have chosen to use as the word is it's a blend. That I'm learning to blend all my worlds together. So there's lots of times that my kids are out at the barn with me and they're helping me clean runs, and they're checking on horses as they're preparing to foal, and they're holding horses while I do treatments on them, and they're in the vehicle as we go to check water for the cows. And when I allow myself to think about my life being more of a blend than a balance, I feel a lot less pressure, almost, that like everything can work harmoniously, that I don't have to have all the balls up in the air at the same time, that they can all work together, fortunately.
Oh, Shanda, that is just beautiful. That is incredible, because you are just blending your family and spending time with them while still taking care of the animals and all the livestock and the chores that need to be done, but yet they are all a part of it. Oh, that is a great way to put it. You just blend it all together. I love that. That is absolutely beautiful.
It took me a while to be okay that that's what it was, because, I read all these things about this work-life balance of a young mother, and I think that's hard. I don't think that it's a reality for many people. So when I allow myself to think of it as a blend, it's more manageable for sure. And my kids get to see a lot of cool things as a result of that. And I think I learned that even more this spring as things changed with COVID and campus shut down. It was so challenging keeping everything going. But my daughter, who's 6, she was there for 2 of the foalings. They were there helping me feed. They got to see and do so much more that wouldn't have happened in a normal semester. They're very much involved in it, but they were there with me for hours every day, and that was kind of a unique and neat opportunity for all of us to have that happen.
Oh, that was really a very special experience in a lot of ways, especially for her and you to be able to experience them with her at her age, and for her to experience that with you and see the excitement that you were giving back to her, and she was sharing that same excitement with you. I can only imagine how fun.
Yeah.
That is really neat. Well, Shanda, this interview has just been phenomenal. I just loved it. It has gone so quickly. And as we come to the close of our interview, what are some thoughts, tips, or tools you would like to leave with your listeners from what you have learned over the journey you have been on?
Oh, that's a good question. I think one of the recurring thoughts in this is faithful, and to trust when God is leading you, and maybe even when it's a direction you don't think you want to go, that I can speak to the fact that it worked out, and it's certainly been a blessing, and I love the opportunities that have come my way, and the opportunities then that I'm able to provide to college students by being in this role.
Oh, those are some beautiful tips to leave. Oh, I just love that. Just be faithful and trust. Yes.
Right.
That is absolutely gorgeous. What beautiful tips, Shanda. Well, Shanda, I want to thank you so much for being my guest, and I truly hope you will return and keep us updated on all your equine programs, your ranching with your family, and all the livestock. I would love to interview you again in the future.
Well, I would love that too. Thank you.
Oh, you are so welcome. Thank you so much. And we will be posting your links to this podcast. And I also want to thank all of our listeners for listening to this interview with our amazing new diva, Shanda Maddox. Please share this show with your family and friends. Be sure to check out all the hosts and their shows on divasthatcare.com. Have a fantastic day. Be kind to all. Give your animals a hug and share your love with them. Until next time, stay strong and healthy.
Thanks for listening. This show was brought to you by Divas That Care. Connect with us on Facebook, on Instagram, and of course on divasthatcare.com, where you can subscribe to our newsletter so you don't miss a thing.